$750 is divided in the ratio of 1 to 3 to 2. What is the smallest share? Now you are going to get the tables. Yep. You're going to get the table and it will have ratio here, quantity there. Do you know what to do? How do you fill out the table? What is the ratio?
7 in the hundreds, 50 in the 10.
All right, now how do I set this out? What do I put here on the ratio line?
1,
3, 2. What do I normally do at the end?
you put someone in the table.
Good, I write the total. Fantastic. And what is my total? So here's my worded problem, and I'm going to transfer it to a table. $750 is divided in the ratio of 1 is to 3 is to 2. What is the smallest share?
And then underneath it, you put 100, 750.
Fantastic. So 1 and 3 makes 4, 4 and 2 makes 6. Underneath the 6, because that's the total, you put the 750, and then we've got to try and work out how do we go from 6 to 750 with multiplying. Now that's really hard to work out. What's the opposite of multiplying? If you're coming down this way, multiplying, if you go the other way, what's the opposite of multiplying? If
You have to, how many times does
6 go into 750, fantastic. So what you're going to do, we don't know 6 times what is 750, I don't even know. So you say, I'm going to try the other way, 750 divided by 6. I don't know, 6 times something is 750. We say, I don't know what that is. So let me go the opposite direction. 750 divided by 6 is 125. So now I can start answering any question I want. So what do? 1, so this is 1 times 125 is 125. Do you see? 2 times, so basically to go from the top row of the table to the bottom row of the table, the rule is times 125. Do you see? So now we go 2 times 125, that's $250. 3 times 125, that's $375. So the question is, now I might say, what's the smallest share? So $750 is divided in the ratio of 1 is to 3 is to 2. What's the smallest share? You know what that means? Yeah, the smallest share is 125. I might say to you, what's the largest share? What's the largest share? These are all the questions we could ask you. Look, with this ratio problems, you do the table no matter what. And then I might just say to you, what's the largest share? What's the smallest share? Your thing is to fill out every box in the table. That's your aim. Then let's just answer. Then it's like we're answering a question. The smallest share, smallest amount is 125. The largest share is what? What's the largest amount? It's the person that gets 3 amounts. Largest share? 375. What if I ask you what's the difference between the largest and the smallest share? What's that? Anyone?
Sorry, miss.
Yes, of course you can. So, the smallest share, yep, is 125. The largest share is 375. See, once you've worked out your whole table, I can ask you any question now. What's the difference between the largest and the smallest share? What would you subtract? Difference means subtract. How would you do it?
125 minus
Yeah.
250.
No. What's the largest share? It's the biggest. 375 is the largest, minus the smallest is 125. Yeah. So the difference between the largest share and the smallest share is 250. So if you get a question that says what's the difference between, don't worry about it. Just fill out your table. Your aim, if you have to fill out the table, I've got the table in there. Question, if you get a question that needs a table, I will put the table there. Shh. Next question. 7C. Are we watching? And I'll move it down. Here we go. Orange juice pineapple juice and guava juice. So ratio, quantity, which means amount. Orange juice. I'll put an O for orange juice. See, you know these titles, this row up the top is for headings, if we give you headings. Here, orange juice, pineapple juice, and guava juice are in the ratio of 4 is to 3 is to 2. So I'm going to go, my ratio is 4 is to 3 is to 2. What do I put on top of the 4? Which one's that? Which juice is that? So 4 is orange juice. Which one's next? I'll just go pineapple, pine, and guava. So I know the ratio is 4 to 3 to 2. It has to be in the same order as how it's written. Orange to pineapple to guava. And then it says if 250 mils of guava is used. Where do I put the 250? I put 9 here for total. But where do I put the 250 if 250 mils of guava is used? Yep. Okay. We got the same number. How do you go? 2 times what is 250? Now we can't do that, so we got to divide it by 2.
2 times 125.
Yeah. Good. So basically it's times 125. So I'm just going to put it at the end of the table because we can see it better. So we've worked out to go from the 2 to the 250, it's times 125. Well, what do we do with every other quantity? So we're timesing them all by 125. This one is 375. 4 times 125 is?
500.
Beautiful. And what's the total volume of the juice? It's 125.
1/125.
Is it 1125?
Yeah.
1125. And the question is, if 250 mils of guava juice is used, it says how many litres. These are all in mils. Don't worry about. So we know it's 1,125 mils of juice in total. Does that make sense? But do you know how to go from mils to litres?
Yeah, once you get 1,000.
Girls, you always
Once you get the 1,125, you change the 1,000
into a litre. Good. Fantastic. So girls, it's 1 litre and 125 mils. But how do we write that as a one number? So it's 1 point. So it'll be 1.125 litres. Because it's 1 litre and a bit more. So it's 1 point. So we're really dividing by 1,000. So if you know your 1,000 mils is a litre, it's going to be 1 point something litres. It's going to be between 1 and 2 litres, isn't it? So it's 1.125. Because we're dividing by 1,000. Good. 5 millimetres per day. That /day means per day. After 10 days, how tall will the grass be? Grass grows 5 millimetres per day. So every day the grass grows 5 millimetres. In 10 days, let's go. Shh, guys. Grass grows 5 millimetres per day. After 10 days, the grass will be, so we've got 5 millimetres in 1 day. We want to know in 10 days. So we go times 10. How do we go from 1 day to 10 days times 10? Times 10? 50 millimetres in 10 days. But girls, they want the answer in centimetres per day. It grows 5 millimetres in 1 day. After 10 days, it will grow 50 millimetres, but it wants the answer in centimetres. How many millimetres in a centimetre? It's your ruler. Yes, 10 millimetres makes 1 centimetre. So 50 millimetres equals how many centimetres? Look at your ruler. No, look at your ruler. 50 millimetres. Where's your ruler? The 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 5. They're in centimetres. What do you think the little dashes are? Millimetres. So this Where's 50 millimeters? If that's 10 millimeters, is 1 centimeter.
5.
Yeah, so 5 centimeters
That means
is...
it's 50 centimeters.
No. That's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 millimeters is how many centimeters? 5 centimeters.
25 millimeters.
5 centimeters.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's a ruler. 50 millimeters is 5 centimeters. What does that mean? 10 mils / hour. What does that slash mean? Girls.
Milliliters per hour.
10 mils per hour. That's how much this water leaks from the tap. Water leaks from the tap at a rate of 10 mils per hour. How much water leaks in 1 day? So we're losing 10 mils every 1 hour.
I know.
How many hours? How much in 2 hours? Water leaks from the tap at a rate of 10 mils per hour. How much water leaks in 1 day? You're going to work out how much for 24 hours. So 240 mils in 24 hours. In other words, it's 240 mils in 1 day. Do you get it? Guys. Judy's hair grows 5 centimeters in a month. No way.
5 centimeters.
That's a lot. Hair does not grow 5 centimeters in a month.
Every month.
No. I don't think, yeah, that's very long. I reckon your hair only grows 1.5 centimeters a month.
Probably 2 centimeters.
Maybe 2 centimeters a month, yeah. So Judy's hair grows 5 centimeters a month. She's on very good vitamins. How much would her hair grow in 8 months, girls? Actually,
8 times 5.
Yes, good. Can we work out how much her hair would grow in a year as well?
8 times 24. I mean, 5 times 24.
So she's got 5 centimeters in 1 month.
40 centimeters.
In 8 months, it would be 40 centimeters. Good, but that's a lot.
I found this book. Oh, see it.
600 kilometers. So 600 kilometers on 30 litres of petrol. Geez, that's a good car.
Wow.
My car won't even do 300 kilometers on 30 litres. So a car travels 600 kilometers on 30 litres of petrol. Do you know what that means, girls? In other words, you've got to put
600 kilometers and only 30 liters of
30 litres of petrol in your petrol tank, and it can go 600 kilometres. These numbers aren't very realistic. But it says how many litres would you use for 100 kilometres?
10.
Girls, do you think it's going to be less than 30?
10.
Well,
Actually,
what? How do you go from 600 to 100? Divide by what?
5. I mean 6.
Yeah, fantastic. 600 divided by 6 gives you 100. So because I've divided the 600 by 6, I divide the 30 by 6.
Oh, wait.
Does that make sense?
That one?
Yeah. So 600 kilometres of you can drive on 30 litres of petrol. How many litres are for would you use? How many litres of petrol would you use for 100 kilometres? So girls, the important thing is to write out the sentence. 600 kilometres on 30 litres of petrol. I only want to go 100 kilometres. So 600 divided by 100 would give me 6. So 600 divided by 6 is 100. What's 30 divided by 6?
The only way that's possible is if it's a diesel car.
Maybe, yeah. What's 30 divided by 6? Do you know why I'm dividing the 30 by 6?
5.
Yeah, so 5 litres of petrol. Obviously,
I said 10.
yeah,
10.
obviously if you're driving less, you're going to use less. What you can get is a scale drawing question where you have to do some measurements. So in this question, we've got a scale drawing for the townhouse. And the question might be, please find the dimensions. So I want the dimensions of the kitchen. So I want to know the real size of the kitchen. So are we ready? What are we going to do? How would you do this question, girls, if I gave you this question? I want the dimensions of the kitchen. Do you know what I do? What do you do?
Well, you have to times it by 200.
Yeah, we got to times it by 200. Yeah, on this one, every centimetre is, every 1 centimetre is 200. Now this one's different. So the one in the exam might be different, but on this particular diagram, 1 centimetre on the map or on your scale diagram is 200 centimetres in real life. So let's look at the kitchen. I want the dimensions of the kitchen. I'm measuring the kitchen. Can you see, girls, or is it too... What have I got? 1 point... Girls, in centimetres, what is it? Can you see?
Is your ruler?
There you go. Girls, it's exactly between 1 and 2. It's 1.5 centimetres. And this way, let's just do all our measuring now. What's the other distance?
2.
1.5 and 2. Ladies, dimensions of the kitchen. We've got 1.5 centimetres and we've got 2 centimetres. Girls, you know that's not the real dimensions of the kitchen. Let's look at the scale on the map. It's 1:200. What do I do with these numbers? So I times them by 200. Do you get that, girls? So 1.5 centimetres on the map. The real kitchen is not 1.5 centimetres. It's 1.5 times 200, which is 300 centimetres. And the length of it is 2 centimetres times 200, which is 400 centimetres. Girls?
How do you work out the height?
Well, no, length and, you can't work out the height from you need a side elevation diagram. So the dimensions of the kitchen, we measured it, 1.5 centimetres across, 2 centimetres down, but we know that the scale is 1:200, which means that the actual distance is 200 times bigger than our drawing. Does that make sense? So 1.5 times 200 is 300 centimetres. 2 centimetres times 200 is 400 centimetres. Girls, I might ask you for the measurements in metres. Centi. How many cents in a dollar? What does the word...
100.
So how many centimetres in a metre? 100. No. If it's centi, it's always 100 of those in the bigger quantity. 100 centimetres in a metre, 100 cents in a dollar. Got it? So, how many metres, girls? 100 centimetres makes 1 metre. I've got 300 centimetres. 100 centimetres is 1 metre. 3 metres. 200 centimetres would be 2 metres. 300 centimetres is 3 metres. What about 400 centimetres? 4 metres. So therefore, you write that the dimensions of your kitchen are 3 metres times 4 metres. Do you get that? Travelling at an average speed of 60 kilometres per hour takes 12 hours to complete the journey. So girls, how far does it travel in 1 hour? What's its speed? 60 kilometres per hour. Do you know what 60 kilometres per hour means? That you travel 60 kilometres in every 1 hour. So 60 kilometres per hour means that you travel 60 kilometres in 1 hour. All right. This train travels at a speed of 60 kilometres per hour and it travels for 12 hours. So in every 1 hour, it travels 60 kilometres. How far do you think it's going to travel in 12 hours? Do you think it's going to be a long way? If in 1 hour, it travels 60 kilometres.
No.
12 hours. It's going to travel...
That must be a nut.
Yeah, how far is it going to travel in 12 hours? If in 1 hour, it travels 60 kilometres. What about 10 hours? How far would it travel, do you think? How do you think you do it, girls? 60 kilometres in 1 hour.
60 times 12.
Yeah, times 12. It's doing 60 kilometres an hour, but it's going to do that 12 times.
So 720.
Fantastic. 720 kilometres in 12 hours. So a train travelling at an average speed of 60 kilometres an hour takes 12 hours to complete its journey. So it travels at that speed and it keeps doing that for 12 hours. So girls, the distance travelled will be 720 kilometres. Do we get that? Now, we did that, the distance. So the distance travelled is 720 kilometres. Now it says, what happens if this train goes faster? What happens if the train decides to go at a speed of 75 kilometres an hour, how long is it going to take?
Is it the same time?
No. If it's travelling faster to travel the same distance, do you think it'll go quicker?
No, like, is it going like 12?
Yeah, it's still no. Well, this train has to travel 720 kilometres, okay?
Just about.
But now it's going to go faster than what it was going. Well, it says, in the beginning of the question, it says the train's travelling at 60 kilometres an hour. And it takes 12 hours to travel that distance. The train needs to still travel 720 kilometres, that's its distance, but its new speed is 75 kilometres per hour. One sec. You can use your distance, speed, time triangle. And if you want the time, do you remember how to do that? Time is, cover it. How do we do time? Distance over speed, which is 720 over 75. And you just work that out on your calculator and you'll get that many hours. 720 divided by 75. 9 point, exactly?
9.6, yeah.
Hours. Okay?